Hello, and welcome to my channel where we may be dazed, but we are not confused. Today we are going to be doing a listening to shells message for the sign of Gemini. So, what we're going to do is look at three different images of seashells, and I want you to pick the one that resonates with you the most. Once you've selected your option, click ahead on the timestamp below to find your corresponding video. See you in a bit. All right, shell number one. So, looking at your cards, it appears that at the root of your message is a sense of feeling as if you do not have enough. This could be not enough skill set, it could be not enough money, um, it may even be a self esteem issue. And you're in a space where you are needing to dig deep within and just really discover your courage. I feel like you might be moving into a new space and you might just be feeling down on yourself because of what you perceive as a lack of resources or not having something that you feel that you need to have in order to show up in the space that you're going into in a manner that um, will have you feeling like your best self. So let's take a look at what the messages are in your seashell. What do you hear in your shell? So, what I'm seeing here is that there's a need for you to really focus on and what is already with you. All right. What do you already have access to? It's about looking at your situation instead of as a space of lack, but looking at what it can transform into. All right. I'm seeing that it's like you're in a caterpillar stage right now. All right. On first sight, it may actually look like you don't have a lot. You could also be in a situation where, maybe people are viewing you in such a way where you may have been had people around you and now you don't because you are looking like a caterpillar. But there is a process to this. All right. So this is your stage of being in the caterpillar stage because, even though a caterpillar looks like kind of like a depending on what type of butterfly it is, kind of a gruesome looking thing, you know, depending on whose eye is beholding it. Inside this caterpillar is this whole process that's taking place, and wings are developing, and there's all these things that are coming out. Now, again, this could be a butterfly, it could be a moth, it just depends. But there are people who are, deathly afraid of butterflies and they love moths. And then there are people who love moths and they or love butterflies and they don't like moths. It just depends on the person. But I'm seeing that your shell, when you're listening to it, is saying that it's important for you to speak of your situation as if it is something that you've always wanted, like you've won the lottery. If it's a money situation, when you look at your situation and you see it as having potential or you see it as you having more than enough of what you need for your specific situation, then that's what it's going to become. I'm seeing here on this card, it says you have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you attract for yourself and others. So, going back to the solitude card, it might be important for you to remove yourself from situations, social influences where you may have people that are maybe kind of talking down on you or maybe talking trash about you a little bit behind your back, and you may be aware of that. And it's making you kind of feel, I mean, there could be some embarrassment, particularly if you're coming from a space of being very, very concerned about how you come across to others. Um, maybe even a sense of like needing to keep up with the Joneses. And now, after putting so much effort and energy into keeping up with the Joneses, it's like now the Joneses are seeing that you don't have as much as you were maybe putting on that you had, and they're starting to maybe have conversation, and it's impacting your sense of self-esteem, and it's impacting your sense of feeling like you are able to show up in the same spaces that they are. And so this advice for you is really about changing the way that you look at yourself. And even if you don't have everything that you need or everything that you feel like you should have for the place that you're at, recognize that this is a part of a process. This is recognizing also maybe a need to change some of your core values about worth, um, maybe even social status. It could be about um, maybe even changing the lens at which you look through in determining what success means, what it means to be materially wealthy. Um, does it mean that you have, this massive 401k and have all this money, or does it mean that you have enough to have all the things that you need in the moment and you're happy with that? And there may be a need to maybe even shift some of your expectations that you may have attached to a specific um, some type of material gain, whatever you were looking at that as being, like if you saw it as some type of, you get some type of social credit or status because you have a certain amount of money or so on, there may be a need to change that around, to change that view, and to really come into a less is more type of mentality. All right, with this Page of Pentacles, like that's what I'm seeing here, is looking at what you have and really appreciating every penny, every dime, every dollar, and looking at it as something that can be invested instead of looking at it as being something that you have excess of and then you don't really pay attention to it and you don't really care as much because it's expendable. You always feel like you're going to have more. I feel like you're in a space where you don't really have that security of knowing that you're going to have more. And so being in that space of going from having maybe a lot and having a lot of social status or social circles and things like that that were based off of that, being in this new space that you're in where you have significantly less is forcing you into having to transform into a new kind of person. You're having to see yourself differently and you're having to see the world around you differently in order to adapt and still have some sense of joy and peace and self-worth. So let's look at your peace oracle card. And the card that you have is resolution. All right. So I feel like, you're having to make a decision to just look at things differently, change the way you see yourself, and also maybe how you see others. Sometimes when we're harsh on ourselves, we can be harsh on others. Um, because we judge ourselves harshly, and this could be a subconscious thing where we're silently judging. We feel like, people don't have enough, or maybe they're not at the same level that we are because we feel like we had to do so much to get it. And so when you lose that, um, maybe you may have seen somebody else that way and maybe you felt that way about them, and so now you feel that way as well. So let's see what this card is saying. It says resolution. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. Nelson Mandela. There is tension in peace. Conflict comes and struggles arise. This is the way of the world. Peace is an ability, not a state of being. Meet your challengers as equals. Their needs are your needs. Peace, love, and hope. Opposition is an opportunity to deepen understanding and strengthen alliances. So this could be counseling or mediation. Seek to understand and then be understood. Satisfaction comes from putting a matter to rest. An adversary becomes an unlikely benefactor. Know where you cannot bend. I release the need for power, control, or domination. I have no time or need for them. I am courageous in my desire to give love, to seek love, and to be love. I pursue peace relentlessly for myself and for the world. Together, we are beautiful. We are peace. All right. So that's what I have for you, Gemini, and picking shell number one. If this is your last video, I will see you later. If you'd like to choose another, I will see you on the next video. All right, seashell number two. Let's see what your message is. All right. All right, so Gemini, for this message, I'm seeing that the root of this is ending some type of relationship. This could be romantic, family, business, or otherwise, and just getting to a place of really learning how to let go and letting it go, being able to move on. It looks like it could be a situation of you leaving a situation and another person kind of holding on to it and kind of not being able to cope with the fact that the situation has changed. The situation is a new thing. And whereas you're kind of showing up like you're in this butterfly, and there's lots of butterflies coming out in the first seashell. If you listen to that one, there was also a heavy theme of that as well. But I'm seeing that you're kind of, it's either you or someone else is transforming and going into a new phase, and they've really, they're past their caterpillar state. Like they're actually in their butterfly stage. They've already emerged from their cocoon and they're flying away. And it looks like this person is actually going into possibly another relationship. It looks like they have, this could be a business partnership, it could be a romantic partnership, one of the other, but there is one individual who is unable to let this go. And whereas this other person is showing up like with butterfly energy, I'm seeing this other individual is kind of showing up like someone who is stuck in a web. And I'm picking up like a spider energy. So this is like someone who is, um, I'm seeing the image of like wrapping. So like a butterfly, when they're wrapped, they're wrapped in a cocoon and they emerge as a butterfly, whereas, and it's like a life, it's a transformation from one stage of life to another and moving on into a new place. Whereas with a spider wraps insects because it's like a death process. So you're not moving to a new stage, it's to completely end a process. And so it's wrapping and wrapping and wrapping to suck the life out of it. So I'm feeling like this individual is stuck in a space to where, they're not able to transform. So they've kind of like set a web out and they're trying to capture this person and keep them stuck. And it's not really a life affirming energy that I'm feeling here. I'm feeling like this is someone who is not really trying to grow with this person. It's more to kind of drain this person. So this could have been a very codependent relationship where you have one individual who may have kind of like, the situation is no longer appropriate for that person's stage of where they are. And so moving forward is what I'm picking up. I'm not picking up that this is like a third party, situation. They just wanted to, or that there was any cheating. I'm feeling as if this is just genuinely a person that's moving. They want to move into a different phase of life because it's, it's coming across as very unhealthy with this spider web imagery and this draining. Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm picking up that this the other individual is heavily dependent upon this person as a source. It could be a financial source, it could be emotional, psychological source, but it's to the point of being unhealthy. All right, because with that draining energy, that kind of trapping somebody, wrapping them up, and then depleting them of their life source. And if you know how spiders consume, it's like they wrap that person up and then they inject a type of venom of some sort into them, I believe, and it liquefies whatever is in there, and then they kind of suck the juices of what's left. So when I think about that in the context of a relationship, this is like being, kind of broken down and decomposed as an individual and kind of losing everything that makes you what you are until you're liquefied and like sucked through a straw. Like that is some extreme imagery, but I'm saying it the way it's coming across because I feel like this is important for somebody. All right. So, I feel like you're moving forward because you have a dream, you have a vision, you have a purpose. This could be life purpose and life mission that you're trying to move into. And part of this butterfly transformation that you're moving into is coming into alignment with that. I feel like your crown chakra may have been very activated in this, and like you're very connected, like you're in your power and you're wanting to move forward into this new space. And I feel like this is appropriate for you. And so you're trying to just align yourself with the highest of energies and the highest of vibrations so that you can show up in the best way that you can. However, I don't feel as if you're a person that's like in a ghosting energy or you just have no compassion. Like, I feel like it hurts you deeply. I feel like there's a lot of, you may have had some tears, and as you're crying, it's like you're kind of letting go of this darkness that you kind of experienced in this previous like unhealthy relationship. So it's like they're tears of sadness. I feel like it's tears of relief, but it's also tears of, just genuinely releasing the heaviness of that energy. And my heart goes out to whoever this other individual is, because I'm, even with the imagery of like the spider and the draining, like that is very toxic, and I don't condone that. I feel like that's not healthy at all. But there is a lot of, I'm picking up a lot of pain and a lot of like just being flustered, not knowing what to do without having this person, in their lives, because it's like so much of this person. I mean, I feel like there's like a loss of self here, to where this person is so heavily attached that it's painful, and it's a heavy pain. So I feel like it's coming from a place of pain, and it sounds cliche. I know a lot of people say hurt people, but that's really what I'm picking up. That this is true here. All right, so further advice I'm saying is to get ready for new horizons. So you're going to be moving either physically far away from your previous situation, or just mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. Like, you're going to be so far removed from it, um, because you're coming into this new space. And in order to facilitate that, it requires you to change where you are, change your location, change your geography, change your emotional environment, change your psychological environment, your physical environment, all those things, to kind of remove yourself from that. Um, this won't apply for everybody, but I feel like there may even be a need for some of you to move far away because this was so unhealthy. For a small group, I would say this could even be like some abusive situation going on as well, where someone is having to leave, physically leave, to put some distance between them and another individual because of the propensity of this other person to pull them back in. And I feel like that could be on both sides. It could be maybe some back and forth where, you let it go and then you come back, and then let it go and come back. Um, But I see that there is a windfall of abundance coming in here. So it says an increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. So, I'm hearing this for, wherever you fall on this, I'm hearing that this is for the person who's moving into the future. And I feel like this is happening not from a like, oh, haha, I've got this one up on you, I've got this new person, I'm going to be so happy. But it's coming because this person is in alignment with where they're supposed to be in the first place. I don't feel like that's where they were before. We all come into situations and we have to grow, and we outgrow things. We can grow with things. Sometimes we just outgrow them, and that's just what has to happen. And I feel like that is what happened. And because this person took this major step to move into the direction they were supposed to go to, they are going to receive the abundance that is waiting for them when they align themselves. They're going to, it doesn't mean that they're going to win the lottery or get all this stuff. It means that they're going to have all the things that they need to support their life purpose, their health, and charitable work. Now, I feel as if this also applies to the person who is, I guess you could say, being left behind, because this person is being forced into a situation it's almost like taking a drug away from someone. So I feel like this person is going to go through a is going to need to go through like a detox. They're going to need to like come off of the high or the being in toxic relationships can be like having a chemical dependency because it releases a lot of stuff in the mind. But when this person comes off of this person is also going to receive a windfall of abundance because now that their mind will have a chance to kind of clear up and they can see more clearly, and also because they're forced to do something different, it actually opens them up to get in alignment with what's going to be in their highest good and what's going to genuinely make them happy and genuinely put things into alignment for them. So this person is also going to receive abundance that's going to allow them to have their life purpose, their health. I feel like emphasis on health because I feel like this person may not have been healthy. I'm feeling it might be emotional or psychological. Just, I feel like it could just be wear and tear from the relationship or maybe other issues that were playing into this as well. So I'm picking up that, this person is going to also, I'm seeing it's going to be like Christmas for this person. This picture has a picture of like Santa in the woods leaving fruits and stuff for animals and like lots of different things. So um I feel like this person is going to receive gifts that they didn't even know were coming, that they were not able to see because of the nature of the type of situation they were in before. Like they were blinded to it. So this is going to open up a lot for them as well. So I feel like this is a win-win for everybody, but there's going to be some pain and some situation in the meantime of going through that transformation process. So the Peace Oracle card I have for you is forgiveness. So let's read that. We have letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If, in our heart, we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. Forgive so that you may be restored to wholeness. Both deep hurt and simple kindness are brought to any given moment through an infinite web of ideas, actions, and social norms. See, there goes that web reference. Hand me your anger, confusion, and pain. The chain of hurt ends here. Let love and peace complete you once again. Wipe the slate clean and approach a relationship afresh. Be ready to accept or offer an apology. Surrendering anger without surrendering a boundary or a desire will bring a more gratifying outcome. Hurt has no hold on me. I forgive you. I forgive me. We are only human and mistakes will be made. Hurt seeks to hurt, but it ends here with me in forgiveness. We are all in life together. I stand tall without surrender in love, compassion, and peace. All right, so that's our message for seashell number 2. If that is your last video, I will see you next time. And if you will be joining for another video, I will see you on that next one. Seashell number 3. All right, so Gemini, looking at these cards, at the root of your message is this decision that you are trying to make about some type of action that you're getting ready to take. And I feel like you're listening to your intuition and you're allowing that to really guide you. Um, this could be about travel. I feel like maybe you're trying to decide if you want to take a vacation. It could be to some type of island. I'm picking up maybe Hawaii or, some place that you'll have to kind of travel far to get to. And you're trying to decide if this is a good time to do that. All right. For some of you, it could be that. Others, it could just be, some type of action that you're needing to take. And you're trying to really dig deep and really connect with your highest self to see what's going to give you the best, outcome. Like what's the wisest choice that you can make. Because I feel like, there's a heavy motif of like caterpillars and butterflies for your readings for all 3 of these shells. But, I'm just seeing that again. So what you're trying to determine right now by listening to your intuition is the caterpillar of this situation that I'm, dealing with, is it going to turn into a butterfly or a moth? Now, how you feel about either of those is going to be dependent upon your personal preference for either of those two insects. All right. And it's really in the eye of the beholder. But you're trying to make a decision to move into a direction which I feel is going to lead to you, maybe gaining some type of leadership role, or coming into some type of power. It's going to set you up. This could be for a career, it could be for a job, it could be moving into a certain direction, it could be actually moving, you know, to a tropical location or to some place that's overseas in order to work, for some of you. Um, and what is happening is, like, I feel like you're just coming into your power. Like, you are actually making a decision to do something and really trust yourself. And I feel like you may not have in the past. Maybe you couldn't get a lot of clarity about what would be the best. Maybe you had a lot of people maybe kind of giving you advice that wasn't very helpful, not very clear. And it was because you were kind of dividing your own light. Okay. You were trying to, like, allow other people to illuminate your path instead of looking within and allowing that light to shine from within. And I feel like that is what you're trying to do now, because you're looking down the road long term and thinking about the type of legacy that you want to leave behind. Like, was I true to myself? Did I, show up in the way that is the most reflective of who I am? Um, you could have had, like, a family member that passed away that you kind of look up to, or that you feel like watches over you, and you want to try to make sure that you make them proud. I feel like there could be some connection with that. And there's just this sense of you wanting to be in connection with that and just kind of be a clear channel for that in whatever it is that you're doing. I feel like this could be something that you're trying to decide about that could be taking place in the winter. Maybe the time frame is like you need to decide before winter, or you know you're trying to decide what you're going to do in the winter time. All right. It could even be that you're trying to decide if you want to get away from um, snowy locations to be in a more tropical place because you don't like snow, or maybe it's not as welcoming or something. I'm picking up, it could be a situation where you're choosing to come into your power and get out of toxic situations that are kind of holding you back, maybe. And you're just trying to get those messages from within. That's the most important thing that I'm picking up here, is that you're trying to get in tune with yourself so that you can move in a direction based upon what is going to actually be in alignment with your spirituality, if it's your ancestors, any of those things, you're trying to be in alignment with that. So, with this Dreams of Abundance card, it says, as you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you manifest your desires into reality. So you might be having ideas at night when you're sleeping that are telling you in what direction that you need to move. Okay. So, I'm picking up, like, your treasure is within. All right. So with your Peace Oracle card, that's what I'm seeing here for you, is that, your treasure is within yourself. I don't feel like you're looking in an external place. You're looking within. I'm picking up, like, you want to store your treasure where moth and flame cannot destroy it. All right, that's what I'm picking up for you. So, treasure, let's see what it says. It says, we can only be said to be truly alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. Thornton Wilder. Strive for peace as you would an oasis in the desert. In times of trouble, we realize the true value of harmony. Love, comfort, compassion, a trusted companion, a kind stranger. The treasures of the world are within your reach. What value can you bring to the world today? A gift or kindness linked to material gain, financial recognition, or reciprocity. The ability to nurture, heal, lead, or inspire is rewarded. Extra care or diligence brings a return. I treasure peace. I work for peace. Peace fulfills me. I reach for love as it reaches for me. My heart is a treasure chest of beauty and riches. As I give of my treasures, I am replenished. My value is inherent and recognized. My actions are rewarded. All right, so that is the message that I have for you in seashell number 3. If this is your last video, then I will see you next time. If you will be joining on another one, I will see you at the next video.